Alright, so anyways, the Crane Lands where you guys are at, whether or not you've probably never been here before.
I never have.
Beautiful rolling fields, well kept, flower gardens, and it's very nice and well kept.
I'm glad you do it.
Not that your guys' lands aren't, that's just what the Crane Lands are noticeable for. So you guys are walking, if you want, there's a river called the Tengu on the map over there. Not that you really need to look at it, you can imagine.
Is it nice water?
Like the bird people?
Probably.
Yes. As you walk down the road beside the Tengu River, you find your way blocked by a cart upended across the road ahead. To your right, the river laps up to the edge of the path. To your left, an artfully crafted stone wall blocks off broad and flooded field of rice. There is no way to proceed without either getting wet or setting the cart to rights. An elderly peasant is struggling to do just that as you approach. But when he notices you, he hurls himself to the road at your feet, his forehead pressed into the dust. "Honored samurai," he cries, 1,000 pardons for blocking your path. I will move the cart directly. You can wait, but compassion is a virtue, and maybe he knows something.
What did you do? 1,000 prawns?
Pardons.
Oh.
1,000 prawns! He pulls a big basket of shrimp out.
I am the shrimp dealer.
Crab guy's like, you got some crustaceans in there?
Alright, so...
I'm just, we are not samurai yet, sir, you may rise. Or, I guess I wouldn't call him sir. Farmer, peasant.
He is a peasant.
You don't trust him as anything.
However, yeah, he is a peasant, but he would still treat you as if you are a samurai. So he will acknowledge you, but politely, and still he's struggling to right the cart.
I'll hop down and go over and help.
Yeah, I'm famously reliable, so I'm gonna help him move that cart.
And just as
it seems the two of you would be most capable.
I do my crab flex.
I'm small.
okay, so what do you guys?
Ow.
Are you guys gonna talk to him? You just gonna jump down and help? What do you?
I'm just gonna...
While the
the cart
crab is doing his crab thing, I'll go to. It's like, what happened here? I mean, does it look like the cart's actually destroyed, or
no? It's not destroyed, and it's a matter of just that he is elderly and this is a heavy cart. There's no die roll for this. It's basically you just picking up that chair fell over and you're picking it up. Kind of thing.
Okay. I was picturing like a huge
I mean, it's a big cart, but it's you. 2 or 3 of you together could easily.
Has anything fallen out of it?
Well, we'll get into that because first he asks what happened here. So he says, 10,000 pardons, honored samurai. I became startled when I thought I saw someone standing in the middle of the river. A gust of wind caused me to fall into the river and knock the cart over its side. Now you do notice that he's wet, basically from the waist down.
Dude, what a fucking
you said there was a bridge nearby? Or something like that? Or like a stone wall?
There's a stone wall. You know how rice grows.
Yeah.
So there's a stone wall to block, the flooded rice field to your left. And on the right, the river literally comes right up to the path.
I just walk up
So there's really no way to get around this without getting wet.
I walk up to the stone wall just to look into it to see if I see if there was anything in the river.
Well, the river would be on the other side, not the rice paddy. The river would be on the other side. But no, you do not.
Okay, that's just what I'm doing.
Yeah, and basically, are you asking him about that in general? Because you don't see anything.
Yeah.
He said, it must have been a trick of the light. The man I thought I saw, my master, has been dead several weeks. Doji Satsume.
Okay.
You know who that is. You guys all know who that is.
Okay.
That's the Emerald Champion.
Oh.
The Emerald Champion is the right-hand man of the Emperor. Basically, the Emerald Champion is like the bodyguard and like his right-hand man. And so the Emerald Champion has Emerald Magistrates. Emerald Magistrates are kind of like the police. The lawmen that go around the whole thing.
We were aware that this happened, right? Or is this the first time we're hearing about this?
I would say You would probably heard this. Yeah, I think regardless of where you were, and I was debating if all of you would know it, and I think that news like this would probably travel around everywhere.
Do we know what happened to him?
Or that he's just dead.
I think, yeah, it was, it was his time. It wasn't like in a duel or anything like that.
Oh, he
it
just
was
died.
like
Old.
age.
So he was doing an awesome job.
So yeah, he will continue from
died
there.
for me.
He'll continue from there as you guys are mulling this over. And yeah, my name is Ryu. I was honored to be the servant of the great Emerald Champion. Now I'm bringing his personal effects to his brother-in-law, Doji Tashimoto. Tashimoto-sama is the honored head of the Kakita Dueling Academy in Tsuma, which is where you guys are
Yep.
going.
So,
The Kakita Dueling Academy is the host of the tournament. And, so yes. He's bringing the effects in the cart, which, you don't see anything really, but you can look in there and you see stuff
Right.
jostled around. It's, what you would, personal effects.
I would ask him
Chests and,
if
bags and stuff.
everything's in here. I'm gonna look around and see if I see anything laying on the ground that fell out of it. I mean, I'm sure something fell out, but to make sure that nothing rolled and washed down the river.
Have you guys already righted the cart, or are you doing this first?
I mean,
Well, you said it wouldn't take us long to do it. I
Yeah.
assume that we got it up.
Right.
Okay.
Alright, he's obviously, very...
I was talking.
Very gracious. So so you guys would have flipped the card up while your character was talking to him. As you don't see anything laying around, but as you flip the card up, the contents jostle and it is a little windy. A piece of paper kind of scatters and it blows and kind of hits you right in the face. And you
Got it.
and I mean, as you pull it away, you can't help but see, the main sentence on it, because the adventure says so.
Okay.
It says, "You have often told me you are a better father to my children than I am. I can only hope the fortunes bless you, or curse you, with children of your own one day, that you could see the true challenges of fatherhood."
Yeah. Dang. I just happened to.
It appears to be written to Kakita Toshimoko, the writer's brother-in-law. So, deducing that, it appears, it was written by the Emerald Champion
Okay.
to be delivered to the brother-in-law.
Alright.
What you do with the paper is up to you. He hasn't noticed this.
I'm going to put it back. Whatever. Did something open that it blew out of, or it was just loosely
Just the
in
loose
there?
contents in the cart, just from stuff being jostled.
What was-
You lifted it back up and just, some papers in there.
I
moving
would
around.
I would gather whatever papers are there. I would gather it and put it back in the cart underneath something
Mhm.
to hold it down.
Okay. So yeah, you can do that. Anything else you want to talk to him about? He's very appreciative, and he is going to.
Well, if he's going the same place
He's gonna-
we are, does he want to
Yeah.
travel with us to make sure that he makes his delivery?
Yeah,
so
he
you
is-
don't knock your car
Yeah.
over again.
very apologetic and very honored that you will travel with him. As you see, even a peasant who is in service to one of the greatest samurai in the land is still extremely, intimidated, I guess I should say, and respectful of any other samurai. You think maybe him being like the highest peasant in the land type thing, but not necessarily.
Dude, you don't want to be the highest peasant in the land.
You would think
Maybe you are.
if you were, it was just thinking, you're the servant to the right hand man of the emperor, you would
Yeah,
have
Emperor's
a
Jesus,
little bit more.
Emerald dude's the Pope, and you're a dude who works
Right.
for the Pope.
It just basically this is showing you that all peasants are the same. It doesn't matter what samurai you served or whatever.
Hashtag not all peasants, dude.
So yeah. Just as an example, I knew you guys weren't going to do this, but just because we were talking about
Stealing and killing.
how the game works the other day, earlier. If you would have just walked around the cart and left, you would have got wet, and by getting wet, you would have lost the glory because you would have showed up into town wet, That's a thing. Like, obviously, something happened to you guys. So, like, why are you all wet?
Appearance.
Yeah, appearance thing. So, just I knew you guys weren't going to do that, but I wanted to point that out. That's an example. I figured you weren't just going to.
It's written in my backstory that my outfit, I just always look wet, so no one knows if I am or not, so I don't have to worry about that issue. I'm a crab, dude. All I do is hang out in water.
All you
power the backstory, dude.
Dude, you go to Target or Meijer and there's a whole tank of me. Those are lobsters. I wish there was crabs there.
What if we just went swimming?
always look wet.
We were all wet when we came in.
wet.
Always wet. Always think about it.
Dude, I'm wet for
Damn, Brad, you set that right up for me.
On our travels, we don't have to roleplay it out, but I'm just going to...
Well, if you guys want to ask him anything else, go ahead. But if not, we're going to go right up to where you guys are getting rooms at.
Just finding out more
Flip the
stuff
map
about
over.
the life of the Emerald Champion. I said you don't have to give specifics, just to find out more about...
Well, there are specific things to learn, so
Okay.
About that
depending
guy.
on what you guys talk about.
Is he the servant to
I'm gonna...
I'd like to know more
that
about
specific
that guy.
Emerald Champion only, or just all Emerald Champion? in
There's the
general?
village. You guys are coming in this gate right here. The academy is that big building right there.
Okay.
How many Emerald Champions exist at one time?
Only one.
So this term is only happening because...
No, this is a coming of age tournament. All samurai...
But if you win the tournament, you become an Emerald Champion.
No, you become...
the Topaz champion.
Oh, Topaz.
Okay.
I don't know how gemstones work.
This is the Topaz Championship.
Oh, no.
The Emerald Champion is... Yeah, there's only one at a time. Like I said, there's Emerald Magistrates. There's tons of Emerald Magistrates that work for the Emerald Champion and enforce laws all around.
How's
Rokugan.
the Emerald Champion picked?
Huh?
How's the Emerald Champion, like, how do you get
We
that
don't
title?
know.
Oh, we don't.
Does he know?
No.
I want to know if he works for just any time there's like if let's say now that the previous one has passed away and if they get a new one, are you that one's servant too, or are you just the one who passed away's servant?
I'm gonna go with just the one that passed away because I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. I think he would tell you no. I was chosen by my master. I served him well, and now that he has passed, I am free to live my life.
I say that I've not heard much about the Emerald Champion up in the Scorpion Lands. Was he ill? Or does it just appear that his time had finally come?
Let me read one thing real quick.
Did he die horribly in battle?
He did not die in battle,
Or they were able to
and
Where's his body now?
just lay into this recliner. They can't move it till the
he
next
throws it
floor.
on you. Ha ha!
This dude's walking around with this dude's body.
No, it was just his time. He is, he did not pass in battle. He has lived his life to the fullest. But yeah, he does not know the process for picking a new one or when or how that's going to happen.
I imagine like all the cremation and all the other honorable ceremonies were done for a man of such prestige.
It was several weeks ago, so
Yeah.
that he passed, and he will tell you that he is traveling from the city he's traveling from is actually, I already flipped the map, but it's right next to the city that you guys are going to.
Okay.
So he hasn't been traveling from. It was the Emerald Champion's castle is near. It's called Otosan Uchi, and it's just north of Tsuma, not far away. That's where the Emerald Champion's castle is.
No, over
Yep,
here.
that's a big one. Yeah, the academy.
This weapon right here.
And there's
I'll
going up
replace
top
that
there?
with a dead hand.
Is that what you said?
Real
Oh,
human hands.
that's
So you just start when you throw it and hit people. They just lose.
Well, this is where the academy
Yeah.
is. I'm just trying to figure
That
out where
would
we
be
can
gross.
go.
It would
And
be
then-
funny.
Well, I guess I would ask him. It's like, do you know much about the town that we're heading to?
Ah, yes. I spent my youth in this lovely village. It is home to the Kakita Dueling Academy, of course. The samurai who study there are unmatched in their skill. May I humbly suggest the Red Lotus Tea House if you're a mind to take of ease. If you're of a mind, if you're of a mind to take your ease. Or were you looking for something else?
It's like housing, but I imagine we must check in with the Dueling Academy.
You would already
first.
know. No, you would actually already know. I just didn't tell you yet.
Okay.
That you are registered with rooms at the House of the Laughing Carp.
Okay.
That is, the town is, as you guys are entering, going through the town is very busy. Obviously, this is like you said, the most prestigious of these championships, and there lots of people come to watch this.
Okay.
So think of it as
The Olympics.
a sporting event. Yeah, and there's all these people from all over are here to watch you guys compete because you are the best of the best.
Are those other people from we were just all traveling together, not the other members from our school, right?
Well, I kind of left that up to you.
Okay.
If you guys wanted to say you knew that NPC, that would make sense. You don't have to.
Okay.
I was just
Right.
letting
Okay.
you know.
Gotcha.
Because I thought it would make sense that the other person from your clan, you would know who they were.
Right.
You know.
No, that would make sense. But yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean we travel together. I guess I would ask him for directions to the carp, and once we get inside, I'd leave him to his business.
All right. And yeah,
And I would just announce that it's like I'm going to our accommodations,
yeah,
or at least mine. I don't know if you guys are staying there.
But he told you, basically a little bit more about the championship. We'll just,
Sure.
it's the most famous, and it's 3 days long. Features a whole bunch of different types of challenges: archery, hunting, board games, horseback riding,
Board
athletics.
games.
Yeah, can we play L5R?
Actually, you're gonna play. You actually Go, which is a game that you guys would know. It's a real board game that
Yeah.
you can go buy right now and play. But it's called Go, and it's
I read a manga about it once.
it's a very tactical, challenging game to
I was
play.
also at
I should make you guys play it for real, but we're not going to.
I was at a bubble tea shop and there was like 8 dudes playing it and they got real into it.
It is a very, for just being black and white beads on a square grid, it is probably one of the most in-depth tactical games. Like think of like chess times 10. It's very, very strategic.
Let's just play Chinese chess.
It is like the simplest looking game in practice, but
We're
it's
hungry
very
when we
deep.
get those. Ooh, the board game we were going to play. Don't Wake Daddy.
Don't wait, Kami.
Yeah, don't wake Kami.
Kamis are the spirits that guide,
We
guard
have
over
to
you.
hit the alarm clock button and hope Dad doesn't get up.
Yeah, so he will so he'll tell you a little bit more about it, just some more minor stuff. Obviously he's seen several other competitors arrive into town. The town is super busy, everything that I've shared with you. And then you'll eventually get to a point where he has to fork off and go a different way, and he will
Fork off. That's how we get around the swearing, guys.
I meant like a road that forks, but
Oh.
but it was he will bow again and thank you one more time, and you guys will go about your ways.
Before that, I have a 6th sense.
Mhm.
Do I sense his master or ghost anywhere? Because he saw
Yeah,
a guy.
Me. I'm haunted, remember?
What does it say? How does it read?
Okay. So,
You see dead people.
you have an instinct sense of supernatural beings. You can feel the presence of spirits and similar entities even when they have not chosen to reveal themselves. This feeling is ominous in the presence of beings with evil intentions, and neutral when beings are simply going about their business. You know, normal ghost stuff.
Yeah, just
Standard
just,
ghostings.
Okay, no, they're going to the ghost grocery store to buy their...
Ghostry store. Yes, absolutely.
I do.
You do absolutely sense his presence.
How does commune with spirits work? Hang on.
But as soon as you sensed it, it has passed. So you do not sense him constantly, but at that moment, absolutely.
Does he sense my ghost?
Yes.
Do you know you're haunted?
Do I know I'm haunted? Has he revealed himself to me?
Does it say you know?
Or the spirit makes itself known whenever it does its own shit. But do I have a experienced hauntings in the past?
I'm gonna say no. You do not know you're haunted yet.
Dudes in the eye hole.
Because if you started this adventure as intended with the pre-gens, that part of your character wouldn't be created yet. Just like his Sixth Sense wouldn't be created yet, but since we're doing our own characters, I'll let him.
So, he knows I'm haunted, but I don't know I'm haunted?
No, he
senses a spirit. He doesn't
Shit.
necessarily mean that he knows that it's haunting
Unless
you.
it's an evil spirit, then I know if it's evil.
No,
And
my
that-
spirit
and that
ain't
all
evil.
depends on.
So
if
yes,
that
you would
spirit might
sense
not be
two
around you
spirits.
24/7 either.
Also, question. It says I'm haunted by the spirit of an ancestor. How far back does that have to be to be an ancestor? Could a grandfather be an ancestor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's an ancestor.
So I can be like, oh, this is my dad's. I'm being haunted by an ancestor's ghost. It's my dad.
Could be.
Yeah.
That just sounds weird. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like
I
it
mean,
fits.
technically, yeah.
Your son? No,
My,
that would be your
my
ancestor.
son, and my daughter downstairs. I'm her ancestor. Technically.
What's with your kid? Is that what's the ancestor with the other direction?
predecessor?
Yeah, there you go. Or what's the word? I don't know.
No, that'd be not the other direction.
I don't know
That's
words.
backwards.
Yeah,
You want to do future? You
Yeah.
mean? Is there a word for future?
It's like
Sibling?
future ancestor.
Future ancestor? Is there
Yeah.
a word for? I don't know. There probably is.
Reverse ancestor. I'll look it up. It's not important.
What's a downtime activity? Like you have to be sitting?
Yo-yos.
Downtime activities are when we are not basically in between adventures. When you guys are, you just finished this adventure and now you're gonna rest in the town for 2 days before you head out for a next adventure type thing.
So like drinking.
Just like D&D. D&D has downtime activities too. It's just stuff that happens while we're not playing and while you're not adventuring.
All right, yeah, I go to the.
Are we all? Do they put all of us in the same lodgings, or do we have different places that we stay?
Well, you guys all happen to have your
Weird.
lodging at the same place, but there are several places in town. Like I said, this is like one of those things. Every hotel in town is full, type thing. So this is where all the guests, all the participants are at. Not just you guys. All the participants are registered to stay here.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. Is everybody staying in the same
Yes,
place, or
yeah.
okay.
It's not just happened because of the adventure. It's
Okay.
all the participants stay there.
More than likely on the way, I'd have to say hi to, or ask for directions here and there. But also, I'm trying to look for other people wearing house emblems to just size up the competition of people that might be competing against us.
Mostly along the way, you have seen actual samurai. If you see anybody,
Of course, bowing and naturally.
right? Kneeling if they're superior status, bowing deeper depending on their status. Yes, we don't have to cover that every single time it happens.
Yeah.
Assume we're bowing when necessary.
Right.
Do my back out. I'm always bowing.
I'm gonna say that along this trip, you did not see any other people that seem to be participants until you walk in. Once you walk in, now you notice some samurai or some clan members that are obviously around your age that you're assuming are also. There's no marking, be like, I'm almost a samurai, but not quite yet.
Right.
You're still wearing your regular house
Are there
moms.
stables and stuff?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't they're
yeah.
walking in if they're not on horses, we'd be going in behind them.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that, but yeah, you'd be met by a peasant who would escort your horse away, and unless you gave any specific instructions, they would do the standard brush and care for and feed. They would do all.
I was just
that
wondering,
for
because
you.
are you guys on horses or
I don't
I
think we
was
have
not.
horses.
Okay.
They were not. So it'll be fun when we do the horseback riding
What's
competition.
your horse's name?
Miller.
I figured.
Knowing how things are, well, I would first go and check in with the desk clerk, but
Okay, that's when I have to read a bunch.
Okay.
So if you want to do anything else before that happens, then let me know.
just I guess not that you need to give me specifics, but just ratio wise, does it seem to be is it a lot of crab in here, a lot of phoenix?
There's a lot of
Probably a
crab
lot
in
of
here.
crane, right? 'Cause
More than likely a lot.
Well, a lot of crane all over the city because you are in the crane lands.
Right.
I figured.
Think of crane like a stereotypical crane, like long flowing white hair, kind of
Elves.
like a Raiden looking thing, like a high elf, kind of like that. Yeah. So obviously more cranes than anybody else, but once you get inside here, you see, a mixture of all the NPCs, which it looked like it was about 2 per clan. Since you guys all picked like a different clan, I think I don't know. It's something. I'll look it up in a minute after I read this and tell you what exactly you see. But let me get through this box text first. I already told you all. Let's see. The village of Tsuma buzzes with activity today as peasants and samurai move along the street on their business. Peasants all bow and wait for you to pass. That's all what we kind of covered. I should have just read it. While the samurai rush by you without a second glance. Streamers are affixed to trees, paper lanterns, and the colors of the great clans hang from posts. Kites fly in the air, glass chimes sing in the breeze, welcoming contestants, observers, and other visitors to this year's Topaz Championship. Quickly make your way to the town magistrate's estate to formally register for the tournament. Then you're directed to the House of the Laughing Carp, the tea house and inn housing the contestants. So you did have to register first at the magistrate's estate.
Okay.
Should have read that.
Yeah.
As you step into the courtyard of the inn, so you guys are inside now. The loud voice catches your attention. You get "This is unacceptable," bellows a lean, tall young man, still dusty from the road. Sea green attire and unfamiliar family crest mark him as a samurai of a minor clan. Samurai is in mid-argument with the innkeeper and is an utterly implacable peasant woman. Forgive me, honored samurai, she says very dryly. All my rooms are spoken for. If I should give you a room, I must displace another samurai, one who made these arrangements in advance. Perhaps you could try another boarding house in the village. They are all full, the samurai hisses, struggling to regain his composure. The innkeeper then notices you guys. It's honored guests. Recognizing your crests. Your rooms are waiting. Okay, so let's see.
I take
We're
note.
we're traveling with the other
That was-
people. Were we traveling with them or not?
That's up to you.
The
You wanna
NPCs,
come
I assumed that you weren't because no one said
Oh,
anything, but if you wanted to be, I mean, that's fine. We could just, Phoenix, dragon, crane, lion, unicorn, scorpion, crab. So yeah, a little bit of everybody's in here. Those are all the other contestants beside you guys. Well, basically one of
All right,
three-
so
yeah, one of everything. One of every
would-
clan.
I would probably just talk with the other unicorn that I'm here with and ask her if she would want to share lodgings with me to allow this guy to have his own room. Or to have a room to free up the space.
Ooh, sharing a room, dishonorable.
Opens closet, a bunch of dead mice.
Do I recognize this? You said. I mean,
That's
you
what
said-
I'm looking for right now is your roll to see if you guys would recognize this clan. I'm gonna say I just wanted you guys to make your first roll of the game.
Government culture, maybe.
I was gonna say probably culture,
Probably recall
information,
So
or the earth.
Earth government or
Um,
Earth culture.
Oh, the Earth government.
Yeah, earth is recall,
I also found that funny.
right?
Thanks
yeah,
for the
analyze
subscription,
recall.
Noah.
Thank you.
Yes. So let's do it'd be earth culture. So anybody wants to do an earth culture check?
What does that mean?
All right. So look at your earth ring. That's
Oh,
going
I
to
see,
be
okay.
the number of black dice that you roll, and the number of white dice you roll is going to be what your culture ranks are.
Now I have as
So basically, we're just doing this just so you guys see how the dice work.
Oh, okay.
okay. Well, my
Black dice for this, white dice
my
for
distinction, I have precise memory, which allows me to re-roll dice. I can re-roll 2 dice for that'll apply.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right. So now,
Oh, I need
Earth.
that.
I
We don't
need
have enough black dice.
2 black dice.
And then, so white dice are your skills, right?
white dice is your skill ranks. Black dice are your ring dice. There are 4 different symbols on the dice. You have this is a success. The little circle.
Ooh, I got one.
The 3 little things in a circle like that. Like,
Oh, there's a key on our thing.
yes.
Yep.
Explosive success. Opportunity is this. Strife is not always bad, but
I
it
got
kind of
a
is.
strife success.
All right, now, so this is the way the die roll system works.
2 strife.
You can keep dice equal to your ring that you rolled. So whatever the black dice roll, however many black dice you roll is how many dice you're allowed to keep. You can keep 0 and not take any strife and just say, I don't know what clan it's from.
I don't know what clan it's from.
I take it if it's blank, that means it's just a nothing. That doesn't mean it's like a secret.
What is an explosive success and a strife?
Explosive success is basically you're keeping that dice and re-rolling another of the
They
same
have 2
dice.
symbols.
What's that?
The strife.
Yeah, you can keep it. I mean, you can re-roll to get another success, but you're still getting the 1 strife.
When you take a strife, we're using those
Black.
black poker chips to do that. Strife is going to build up. It's not necessarily going to hurt you, but if it ever reaches equal to or above your composure, then you can have an unmasking, which is not necessarily good.
What
But
is my composure?
Other
On the
side.
back.
air plus earth times 2.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Dude, my composure is 12, dude. I don't get mad strife.
So yeah, your
It's
strife.
just an emotional outburst.
It's going to build up, and you'll have an emotional outburst. It's hard to
There's-
get rid of.
On your sheet, there was one of the questions was how do you
It doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
It doesn't
I
actually
remember
do
that.
anything until it reaches above your composure. Until then, strife it's just a resource you have to manage. Try not to take too much of it. At the end of a scene, you'll lose half the strife that you've accumulated. For reference, we completed scene 1 right before with the cart. That was a scene. Now scene 2 is what just started.
And then basically when you're over your composure, what it is when you roll dice, if it has a strife symbol on it, you cannot take that dice.
So yeah, if you're compromised and you don't, unmasking lets you immediately move half of your strife.
No, all of it, I thought.
No, it's
A
half.
half, okay.
But you risk losing honor and stuff because you're having an emotional outburst. Maybe you're just getting frustrated. Maybe you just say, "Damn it," or something like, "Oh, that's a samurai shouldn't do that."
Go suck yourself.
You don't necessarily lose honor either.
You could. You don't
You could.
necessarily, but depending on what you do, if you flip the table over and say, whatever.
Suck yourself, dude. This is bullshit.
I would flip the table for sure.
But anyways,
That's your thing. You have like a portable
One
table.
of the
Every time you get
questions.
mad, you just set it up.
Well, one of the questions we didn't answer on your 20 questions is a personal unmasking, like what your character does when
we're
this
gonna
happens,
experience that
because we're organically letting that happen. So when you get to that point, depending on what the situation is, then whatever your thing is. Every time I unmask, I punch a hole in the wall or
Pull my pants down and drop it.
right.
Oh, I'm so angry.
Pull out my
I'm
dead
sick of
flesh
this
from my
shit.
backpack. and
Throw it at
stroke
somebody.
I grab the dead flesh that's in my pocket. I pull it out and I touch someone with
So
it.
That's what we just said.
Oh,
Derek's always fondling.
damn, dude.
Derek's always fidgeting with, something. It's just a chunk of dead flesh.
He carved like
Just
bone into a
says-
coin and then wrapped skin around it, so he has like a bone coin.
All right. So, anyways,
Okay, yeah.
what does this mean then?
I don't know what you rolled. I can't see that far.
Explosive success, but also strife on it.
All right, so you are allowed to keep up to 2 dice. You can keep 0, 1, or 2. You can just say I failed and not keep any of those if you don't want any strife. If you want to keep the strife plus explosive success,
I'll take one. Of
take
them.
a strife and then re-roll
So you already
another
got-
black
I
die.
got 1 success so far.
Re-roll another black die and you have 1 success.
I got another strife
No, that's
and
no,
an
that's
opportunity and a strife.
So you don't have to take that.
You can
dice
keep
now.
that dice if you want to,
I don't want
or you can just
Okay.
have 1
I
success.
just want the ones.
You
I-
did.
2 successes and a strife, so I'm keeping them
1
both.
success and a strike.
I'm strifing myself.
What is? I'm sorry. Again, what's an explosive success and a success? What's the difference? Is that just
Explosive
because it
success
comes
means you
with
get
the
to
thing?
re-roll
Oh,
another
you get to-
dice and keep a new one.
Okay.
Remember, you only can ever keep dice equal to the ring stat that you roll.
Okay. So
Well, your
that was so
explosive
I had to
success-
re-roll
success,
it because it was
just-
explosive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
it
don't-
only counts as 1.
You don't
dice.
have to
Got
re-roll it. You can choose
I
to.
can. Okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I will
you,
get
with
this.
2 successes, immediately
By the time we're done
recognize,
playing this game.
without even looking at his clan symbol, you know his colors. The sea green is obviously it's the Mantis clan. It's a minor clan. They're known for their ships and their sailing. Pirate type stuff.
Why are we...
Pirate samurai.
You guys
Was
don't...
Mantis an option?
I want to be a ninja
Damn.
They're a
pirate.
minor clan.
No, we're not playing minor clans this game. There's like 20 minor clans.
Dude, next game, I want to be Mantis.
You guys don't recognize them initially from the colors like he does, but once you get a clear look at the symbol, it looks like a mantis, and you figure it out. So you guys also know. And you just aren't paying attention.
Yeah, I don't want my
And
success.
you're like, oh,
I don't care.
yeah.
You
I
guys
mean,
being loud.
So would the
So-
other unicorn be okay with that?
You look around for a minute and you find the other unicorn. Did you say you were traveling with them then?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how would the other? You guys are talking. We're just gonna do that. You guys are talking and seeing if that's okay with the other unicorn. What are you guys gonna do in the meantime? Are you telling them like, "Hey, I got this. We'll bunk together"? And
Well, that's what I would ask her before I told them. That's what maybe I might say. Let me go check with her, and if she's okay with it, we can share.
Read her
and then...
description again.
say Sawa-san, because you don't have a name yet.
Yep.
Why is a mantis here? It's for the great clans.
That's a very good question.
Are you saying that to him?
I'm whispering, no,
You're saying it to the
Dirk.
mantis? No.
To Dirk.
That's a very good question. I didn't even notice him.
Yes, and now that Derek brought that up, typically, to your guys' understanding, this is a competition just for the great clans, not for the minors. So it's fairly strange that he would be invited here.
I feel like that's something that we, as the unicorn, would be into, though. Like,
But at the same time, he's still, in a peasant's eye, he's still a samurai.
Sure, right.
But in a great clan, he's a lesser samurai.
Is it easier to become a samurai in a lesser clan?
It's the same process.
Okay.
It's just a matter of some of the great clans started as lesser clans and kind of worked their way into that level. Some of the times, people just broke off of a large clan and started a new one.
It's
It just
Martin
kind of,
Luther shit.
they just did like, hey, I don't really want to just be a crab. Let's go over here and be like a crawdad clan.
Ooh, dude, I'd be the
You know,
or the dad.
The crawdaddies.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
going
just
to,
call me daddy.
God damn it.
I'm going to. It's like I approach the mantis.
I'll go with
and
you.
So I'm gonna let him talk first, but yeah, she's okay with that.
okay, yeah. Then I would go to the innkeeper or whoever who just welcomed us, and I would just ask her to put us together to allow him to have the extra room. Then.
Okay, go ahead, Derek. What are you saying?
I'm gonna try to do this as a water courtesy.
Okay. So you're doing like there must be a mistake, type.
No, I'm talking to the mantis, just kind of saying.
Okay.
Just trying to.
You're not talking to the.
No.
Not to the peasant. Okay.
No, to the mantis himself, and I'm just basically just it's like I wouldn't recognize the school because I just barely recognized that he was a mantis.
Right.
So I would just say Clan Mantis, and I'm trying to be as cordial as possible. It's like, what brings you to the competition? You were invited. And I'll try to do this as courteously as I possibly can. And where's our little...
Yes. So opportunity has a bazillion things that you can spend it on. The opportunity symbol is not a success, but it's still something good happens. So you guys have those charts to give you some ideas. It is massive. So I will help you go over different things you can. The most common thing, think of like, I'm attacking, I can spend the opportunity to turn it into a crit. Or I'm, it's something good happens that's not a success. So you don't, I try to climb the wall. Well, you fail at climbing the wall, but you notice that there's a rope hanging that you could just, grab a hold of and climb anyways. Something like that,
I had 0 successes on.
one of the other things that is always going to be in effect is whenever you guys are checking out other competitors, you always can spend an opportunity to notice a detail about your other competitors.
Well, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna spend 2 opportunity to recognize stuff about them.
Okay.
I'm not coming off cordially, but I'm very observant.
That wasn't cordial.
So I guess I just went up and was like, "Why are you here? Were you invited?"
Who invited you?
Effectively.
Anyways, he's reluctant to share, and he says, let's see.
Oh, dude, Last Samurai music.
He admits that he was surprised to be invited to the championship, but he's eager to prove he's just as worthy as any great clan. And obviously he's still pissy at this point because they haven't worked that out. But now we'll say that happens.
Okay.
I will show Derek what he learned by doing that, and you diffuse the situation. He is very grateful that you are willing to give up your room for him. And like I said, he's a little hot-headed, but he's still respectful, and he definitely looks out of place. He's nervous because he's
more out of place than me.
No, there's another scorpion in the room.
Right. I mean, we're still shady looking. Though.
You're still shady, but you're expected to be there.
Right,
He is like, imagine. I mean, you guys know what it would feel like in that situation to be that out of place. I mean,
This is any social situation.
I don't know what that's like at all.
Bram walking into the country club consorting with millionaires. Imagine
Dude.
that.
The country club doesn't have millionaires in it. It's got $1.75 beers. That's my scene. I'm all about that country club life.
Okay, well then after it was, I guess,
All right.
just kind of roll my eyes.
Read that right there.
Those 2 little things.
That
okay,
right
just
there.
that one right there.
Yeah, not the
Dude,
top
the
one.
Okay.
females of the Mantis clan murder and eat their
Ooh,
mates. Is that a thing they do?
Okay.
Oh, we're blocking the camera again. Sorry.
There's no
What?
no respect for me. Just covers the camera all the time.
I mean,
That was a
I just
dishonorable
forget it's
activity.
here. I mean,
Oh, oops, my bad.
I used to be nervous on the camera, but now I forget it's there.
It's not even your camera though.
What I head up to.
I mean, no one's complaining like, oh, I can't see Bram anymore.
I'm complaining.
Yeah.
I bet my mom will complain.
What if they were? That would be
watching.
hilarious. All right.
I guess I walk back over.
So he's
to you and
grateful
just,
that it was diffused. Technically, you should still make a check to convince the person that was okay. But it's a target number 1 check, and we'll just say you were able to do that.
Convince who? The peasant that runs
No,
the
you're-
inn?
you're-
Or the
Yeah, it's
unicorn?
the unicorn.
Right, yeah, to convince her. But we're not going to do that. We'll just say it was fine. And basically, that is going to end the scene.
Would say, isn't that what the unicorns are about?
He'll thank you with a deep bow.
Sharing rooms.
No.
Again, he'll thank you with a deep bow, and then he will retire to his room, and you guys are in the common area with most of the other contestants. And if you guys want to do anything before we move to go into bed before the competition tomorrow, think of that real quick while I go get another drink. What?
I noticed the crab.
Me?
Yeah.
Me crab or other crab? Me or
Crab.
Jones?
You crab?
Not
Who
Jones.
crab?
I
You
noticed
crab?
the crab
You
has a spirit following him.
Do I
On the
hear
way
you say
here.
that?
Well, no, there's just him and I are talking at
Uh-huh.
a table. It's like. And I imagine at this point we would both know that's probably we talked about being the Shugenjas and stuff like that. Or things like, have you communed with them? Do you know of which element that the spirit belongs?
I do not.
The 5th element.
It's like, this might be something to research soon.
It didn't seem like it had ill will
Well,
or ill intent.
It could just be a spirit of an ancestor then. But we should be more observant, I suppose.
Are you telling people about your sixth sense?
Everyone but me.
I'm not there.
Yeah, it's just
I told him.
just the wizards are chatting together.
The wizard.
Smart guy chat.
So yeah, in addition to who you guys have already met, there is a male phoenix, which obviously you know. There's a female dragon. There's a female crane. There's Hitoshi, the mantis. There's a lion, Shugenja. The other unicorn, you know. There's a female scorpion wearing a red mask. And there's another crab.
Oh, short bald Jones.
Yep, the balding other crab. And there are two more dragons, which are Bob and Cody's
I'm
character.
going to...
Why are there so many dragons here?
So the dragons just couldn't pick two. They had to send three.
The dragon clan, the most elusive one that never comes down, sent like 8 people. Just like,
Hey, well, they said...
Stereotypically, I don't like dragons, so, according to the book. So, but I'm like...
I mean, I guess I could just
How-
erase
There's
this
a
and
lot
say,
of
how-
say
yeah,
that
how-
doesn't exist and
Well,
it's just
even
PCs,
still,
but-
just, how courteous of them to come down from their mountains to grace us with their presence.
they do have a large number of representation here.
So yeah, everyone, you know, some people are focused and studying. Some people are drinking and relaxed.
I'm drinking.
Some people are immediately going to bed and, you know, just
I'm
prepping.
analyzing. I'm like
So-
trying to size people up.
So,
Good luck sizing up Jones. Short, young, and bald.
you, I mean,
3 things people should know about.
your fellow Scorpion is determined that she is going to bring the championship home to the Scorpion clan. She is not messing around with any of you. No, this is it. I'm gonna win. You know, don't distract me.
I figured as much from the description.
Right.
Is there only winner and loser in the tournament, or is there like, oh, you came in second place?
No, there are. So this is how it works. It is a point scale. You're gonna earn points by passing events. After you've earned a set number of points, you have achieved your Genpuku. You can even earn that on day one.
Oh, sick.
So, you know, everyone is probably going to finish as a samurai, maybe not, depending how many points you get. But then, in addition to that, there's also one champion, whoever does the best at everything. And like I said, a lot of that is based on the dice, but I did some other things to make it so it wasn't all random.
I can tell you who's not going to win, and that's going to be Jones.
I
He's not
say
much of a
to,
fighter.
Show Sumi-san, I guess would be her name, because she doesn't have a name yet.
Mhm.
That would be our clan.
Right.
So that would bring great honor to the clan, but remember, do not
Her name, actually, she does have a name.
count your chickens before they hatch. It's like, do not, it's like,
We shall see in competition.
and I just kind of bow to her, like, head nod.
And
Anyone
you-
like a drink? Because I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm gonna go get a drink.
okay.
No, I'm going to go with you. I might be a crab, but I can use some refreshments. I've seen some shit, so.
I'm still, I guess I'm just still, if the mantis is here, I guess I'm still, like, cold
No,
staring.
he's not here.
Okay, alright.
He immediately left and went to his room. He's already awkward enough. So
Oh, you get the mantis drunk.
no, he's not here.
So
So basically, we'll fast forward. You guys socialize. You don't learn anything super important, other than the names of all your competitors. You guys already knew your clan members. You don't learn everybody else's name.
Why do our clan members have actual names and we don't?
Well, you have your
They
like,
don't. These are
name.
family
Yeah.
names.
Oh.
These are like ancestral names. It's just You should have you'll have a name, but your name is just basically your family that you're in. Think of it as you got your last name already, but you don't have your first name yet. You know, type thing.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I mean, you guys socialize. There's really nothing to have you guys roll or anything, unless you guys have specific role playing things you want to do.
Nope.
We can we're gonna save most of the spotting details that Derek did for during the actual competition, because that's when you're gonna be making the most rolls.
Alright.